Dear students, today let us discuss about the olfactory system. As you know, olfaction is the sense of smell, and like gustation, olfaction also forms part of the chemosensory system. The chemicals present in the air interact with specialized receptor cells in our nose and give us the sense of smell. Such chemicals are called odorants. Olfactory receptors are highly sensitive and they respond to chemicals which are volatile, that is, chemicals in the gaseous state. The volatile odorants can be carried through the air from a distance. That is why we are able to get the smell of coffee coming from the kitchen while we are in another room. When the mother is cooking something special in the kitchen, the smell of the food attracts the kids to the kitchen. They rush to the kitchen to know what the mother is cooking. We all have such experiences in our home. So here we see that the objects that produce the odorants are located at a distance and the odorants are carried by the air to the olfactory receptors in our nose. Hence, olfactory receptors are said to be distance chemoreceptors. Whereas in the case of taste perception, the tasting molecules are able to elicit a response only if that object or food is placed in the mouth. Olfactory receptor cells are located in the olfactory epithelium that lines the dorsal portion of the nasal cavities and the nearby regions. Here you see the enlarged picture of the olfactory epithelium. The olfactory epithelium is formed of three types of cells: olfactory receptor cells, supporting cells, and basal cells. The olfactory receptor cells are the sensory cells that interact with the odorant molecules. The supporting cells have minute cilia and they serve as a physical support for the olfactory receptor cells. Since the olfactory epithelium is always exposed to chemicals in the inhaled air, these cells are rapidly replaced by the new cells which are formed from the basal cells. The olfactory receptor cell is a bipolar neuron. From the apical side of the cell body arises a process called dendron, which splits up into small branches called dendrites at the end. From the opposite side of the cell body emerges another elongated process called axon, which terminates in branches called axonites. The long, slender apical dendrite extends to the mucosal surface of the olfactory epithelium. The dendrites have receptor proteins in their plasma membrane that receive and interact with the odorant molecules in the inhaled air. The unmyelinated axon emerging from the opposite side of the cell body runs to a structure called olfactory bulb. There is a bony structure with numerous perforations like a sieve that separates the nasal cavity and the brain cavity. It is called cribriform plate. The axons emerging from the olfactory receptor cells pass through these perforations of the cribriform plate and enter into the olfactory bulb. The olfactory bulb has an inner layer and an outer layer. In the inner layer, there are groups of cells called mitral cells. In the outer layer, the axon terminals of the olfactory receptor cells synapse with the dendrites of the mitral cells, forming circular neural circuits called glomeruli. The axons of the mitral cells then send information through the olfactory nerve or the first cranial nerve to the higher brain centers like anterior olfactory nucleus, olfactory tubercles, amygdala, piriform cortex, and entorhinal cortex. The anterior olfactory nucleus sends information to the contralateral olfactory bulb. That is, the anterior olfactory nucleus in the left side sends information to the right olfactory bulb and vice versa. The anterior olfactory nucleus also sends information to the piriform cortex. The piriform cortex has two major divisions: anterior piriform cortex and posterior piriform cortex. The anterior piriform cortex determines the chemical nature of the odorant molecule, whereas posterior piriform cortex is concerned with categorizing odors. There are different categories of odors like floral smell, pungent smell, etc., which we learn in another class. The amygdala and entorhinal cortex are concerned with emotional and autonomic response to odor. It is because of these regions that immediately our mouths get watered when we get the smell of some special food. This is an emotional and autonomic response to the smell of food. We are able to store this odor information in long-term memory, and it has connection with emotional memory. The olfactory tubercle is also known as tuberculum olfactorium. It is a multisensory processing center and it plays a role in reward recognition. That's all for today's class. Thank you.